What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Texas on a channel. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. So in today's video, I was going to be taking this Turbonetics turbo out and replacing it with this eBay turbo right here that cost $98. It's a really good turbo. I've used these in the past with no issues, but I think the reason that they didn't give me issues is because I always put this BESTLINE engine treatment in the oil holes and lube it up before. And this stuff right here is amazing stuff. I have a video on my other channel. Link will be in the description, so you can go check that video out. I put this up against other additives. Now, I didn't redo all the additives on the market because that would cost thousands of dollars and so much time. I just picked a couple and went with it, and it works amazing. This one beat all of the competition. So anyways, this turbo did not fit. It's too big. It has a 0.63 AR exhaust housing, but it's a lot more narrow than the Turbonetics one, which that's not a problem. That'll just make it spool faster. But the problem is the compressor housing is way too big, and so is the actual compressor wheel. I was just going to take the Turbonetics compressor housing, put it on to buy me some clearance, but I couldn't do it, and I didn't want to change the entire setup to throw this on. And what I mean by that is the turbo actually touches the block. I'd have to notch the turbo and the block. Then the downpipe had an issue along with the wastegate, as you can see right there. The wastegate and the downpipe are all off. I'd have to redo the entire setup just for a temporary turbo. Since this is my daily, I just wanted to basically throw that turbo in while getting the seals in this replaced. But I'm just gonna keep driving it. The seals aren't too terrible. It's only smoking a little bit whenever, like right after I get on it, which is totally normal, I guess, for some turbos. But I just didn't want any smoke whatsoever, and it still works perfectly fine. So I went ahead and replaced the seals and the gaskets and all of that while it was out, because I pulled this all out to test, and now it's got all fresh seals. One of the gaskets, this is why I don't like using these cheapo gaskets, guys, completely was leaking exhaust, and where it was leaking the exhaust is also important, because you see that hole right there? That's for internally wastegated vehicles like turbos, and that's where it was leaking. So that was actually causing a spool leak. That's what I call a spool leak. It's kind of like a boost leak, but not really. It's basically so it doesn't spool up as fast and you can't create as good of pressure. Kind of like when the wastegate fire ring was missing, that was a spool leak as well. At least that's what I call them. So I did go out and get on it last night. So here's a little video clip of that. It didn't do bad at all, and that was 6 PSI. And then the ECU completely crapped out. It gave me the red light on the Honda S300. So I went ahead and took the ECU out last night and soldered up the joints. There's a couple that looked pretty bad on the data logging side. Went ahead and touched those up, put it back in, still red light. It would not work. I thought I was screwed. And so I went ahead and added an extra ground wire all the way from the battery to the front, grounded it directly to the thermostat housing. It's basically just, I bought a brand new jumper cable set, cut the ends off, put my own little crimps on them, and clamped them down, and it works great. I mean, it's a jumper cable, and it's a ground that goes all the way to the battery. And it still didn't fix the problem. So I was like, what am I gonna freaking do? I went ahead, went into the Honda, erased to the computer, completely wiped it. There's an erase button, and wiped everything off the Honda. I went ahead and uploaded my tune again, and it's good to go. So I don't know if that was just a software glitch or if it was a hardware problem, but it hasn't messed up since, and I'm praying that it doesn't again, because that is going to be an expensive replacement. I'll start with the computer since it's $200 if it does it again, and then move to the chip. But if the chip's bad, I'm just going to order S300 version 3, so that way it has Bluetooth and I can set a tablet in the dash and we'll have the whole display digital. It'll be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go take it for a drive and see if the boost is up higher. I went ahead and used the manual boost controller and turned it to the boost so the boost will turn up. So last we were sitting at was 6 PSI. So we're gonna go out, get on it. I'll try to data log it on the laptop so we can see exactly what it's doing. So we're gonna go do that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little launch control. Okay, so I definitely hit 5.8 psi, which is basically 6 pounds of boost. And it's running really good other than the computer deciding to work when it wants to. And as for the launch control stuff, I did disconnect the downpipe the other night, and I wanted to see if I could get it to shoot flames with my launch control settings that you just heard, and it shoots huge ones. I should have recorded it, but I was just trying to get it done and see what would happen, and it was freaking awesome. So it's definitely that muffler being a chambered style muffler, not a through and through or straight through. So I'm going to be replacing that muffler with a vibrant. Garage Built Honda does a really good video with the vibrant muffler, putting it on either a CRX or an EF, I can't remember. And it sounds beautiful on an all motor application. So on this, it'll sound even better. It doesn't sound bad now. It just, I want to see them big old fireballs. I'm a racer like that. You guys know this. But yeah, it's pulling hard. I still need to adjust some more on the boost controller. But more importantly, I need to get the Honda board replaced. Another $200 I don't have. So I definitely cannot afford right now to just do a giveaway, because I was thinking about just doing the giveaway on this turbo so it wasn't wasted. But now financially I cannot afford that because I have to get another computer. So I'm just going to sell this for what I paid for it, probably just on Marketplace or whatever. I just need to get my $100 and whatever back. I have to look and see, but it's a good turbo. I really would love to use it. It would work great for a top mount manifold, which I like the top mount manifolds, but this setup has been proven for me to work time and time again on a daily driven setup. Now, the top mount manifolds with the logs, the cast iron ones, work absolutely beautiful. I just like how this is set up right now. I don't want to change it. I'm happy with how it's turning out other than the computer. So everything else is pretty much spot on. I do need to get the Walbro 450 or even a 255 right now thrown in, because that is the stock fuel pump. Eventually it's not going to be able to keep up with these 550 injectors. But so far it's doing pretty good. The air fuels are in the right range. They're in the rich range, but I'd rather have it a little rich than a little lean. But yeah, definitely making some progress, and I wanted to get this video out for you guys. I'm trying to do the scheduled uploads Mondays and Fridays, get a video out, and maybe in between just drop a random video. We'll see what happens, but that's the goal at least. So if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing, turn the bell icon on to get notified of every upload, and definitely stay tuned for more. The turbo's still doing really good, so I'm happy with the Turbonetics. I don't have much of a choice. I can't really throw that big monster in here without changing everything that I just did. So it's all good. It's not smoking too bad. It's barely even puffs here and there, but I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the launch control, the pulling through the gears, and the explanation of exactly what was going on with this turbo setup. So if you guys haven't, definitely check out that video on my other channel. Link is in the description, where I test BESTLINE against ZMAX, Lucas, and Slick 50 and show you how good of a film strength this stuff really has. So that way you guys can get some of your own. I'm not saying you have to buy it. It's just the information's out there. A lot of people are wondering how good it really is. So there's the proof in that video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Definitely stay tuned. Browse my other videos, watch my playlists, and I'll see you in the next one. As I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.